Hello, everyone. Welcome to Celsius 233, your go-to place for fiction book summaries. Today we will lose ourselves in Ice Dragon by George R.R. Martin. The Ice Dragon, written by George R.R. Martin in 1980, is a poignant fantasy novella set in a world of eternal winters and fiery wars. It follows Adara, a girl born in winter's grip, whose bond with a mythical ice dragon shapes her destiny. A tale of love, sacrifice, and resilience, it intertwines personal growth with the harsh realities of a world at war. Plot summary. In the heart of a world ravaged by war and defined by its seasons, a girl named Adara was born. She arrived during the fiercest freeze anyone could remember, a child of winter marked by the season's icy grip. Her birth was entwined with tragedy, for her mother's life was claimed by the bitter cold that seeped into their home on the night Adara came into the world. From her first breath, Adara was different. Her skin remained cool to the touch, her demeanor distant, as though the winter had laid claim to her soul. She rarely cried or smiled, embodying a cold resilience that set her apart from her family and the warm bustle of life around her. Adara's world was divided by seasons. Summers were a time of labor and laughter for her siblings, Terry and Jeff, and her father, who found joy in the sunlit fields. But for Adara, summer was a time of waiting, a season devoid of the magic that winter brought. She was happiest in the cold, when the frost blanketed the land and the ice dragon came. Unlike the fiery, scaled beasts her Uncle Hal rode into battle, the ice dragon was a creature of crystalline beauty, vast and majestic, a harbinger of cold and stillness. While others feared its arrival, Adara felt it was hers alone. It visited her often, a silent companion, and in time she rode upon its frozen back, soaring through the skies above her father's farm. The world beyond their farm was embroiled in conflict. Adara's uncle, a dragon rider in the king's service, spoke of wars fought with fire and fury. Each summer, Hal returned from the front lines, his visits brief and filled with tension. The war crept closer, and with it came the scars it left on the land and its people. Refugees passed through their village, soldiers limped home broken, and the skies grew crowded with dragons. Yet Adara remained absorbed in her winter world, her bond with the ice dragon growing stronger with each passing year. Adara's father carried his own burdens, haunted by the loss of his wife and his struggles to understand his distant daughter. His grief and guilt, veiled by hard labor and frequent drinking, strained their relationship. Still, there were moments, fleeting and rare, when his love for Adara pierced through his sorrow. These moments, though brief, lingered like whispers of warmth in her frozen existence. As the war intensified, the enemy's forces drew nearer. Their dragons, darker and more menacing than any Adara had ever seen, brought destruction and terror in their wake. The farm was no longer safe. Hal returned with dire warnings, urging his brother to flee south. When her father refused, Hal offered to take Adara, her slight frame the only one his injured dragon could carry. But Adara, bound by her love for the ice dragon and her quiet defiance, ran from them all. She hid in the woods, retreating to the cold places where she felt most at home. In the stillness of the forest, the ice dragon found her once again. Together, they rose into the skies, seeking refuge in the icy winds. But the sight of smoke rising from her family's farm pierced through Adara's solitude. Her father's anguished cries echoed in her mind, shattering her resolve. She pleaded with the ice dragon to return, and the creature, bound by its connection to her, obeyed. The farm lay in ruins, its fields scorched and its livestock reduced to charred remains. Enemy dragons circled above, their riders ruthless and cruel. Adara and the ice dragon descended into the fray. The icy beast unleashed its deadly breath, freezing its enemies mid-flight, shattering their wings and silencing their fiery roars. But the heat of battle was relentless. Flames licked at the ice dragon's wings, melting its frostbitten armor and sapping its strength. Still, it fought, driven by a fierce determination to protect the child who had claimed its heart. The ice dragon's final breath was a torrent of cold, a last act of defiance against the invading forces. The remaining enemy dragon fell, its rider frozen and lifeless. The battle was over, but the ice dragon lay broken, its body reduced to glistening shards amidst the scorched earth. Adara, trembling and weeping, ran toward the farmhouse, where her family awaited her. Inside, the devastation of war had left its mark. Her father was gravely injured, her sister traumatized, her brother shaken. Yet amidst the ruin, there was a fragile sense of survival. Together, they tended to each other's wounds, and when night fell, they fled south, leaving the charred remnants of their home behind. In the years that followed, Adara's family rebuilt their lives in the warmth of the southern lands. The winter child who had once held coldness in her heart began to thaw. She smiled more often, laughed freely, and even shed tears, embracing the emotions she had long kept hidden. Though the ice dragon was gone, its memory lingered, a bittersweet reminder of the love and sacrifice that had shaped her journey. When peace returned to the kingdom, the family ventured back to their northern farm. The land bore the scars of war, but it also held the promise of renewal. Adara, now older and wiser, watched the frost return with the changing seasons. The ice lizards came out, skittering across the frozen ground, but she no longer reached for them. The warmth of her touch was a gift she had reclaimed, one she would not trade for the cold. Hope you had fun. There's more where that came from. Explore other books by George R.R. Martin. Find them below or search Celsius 233. Remember, while our summaries capture the essence, they can never replace the full experience of reading the book. If this summary intrigued you, consider diving into the complete story, buy the book, and immerse yourself in George R.R. Martin's original work. Bye-bye, take care, have fun.